I wrote something today. It's a little bit impromptu, and it falls somewhere in between being a story and being a poem. It's called Mountains, and I hope you enjoy. I've always felt a little bit different. Growing up, I was a shy kid. I was at least 6 inches taller than my peers, and it felt like I was carrying a spotlight drawing unwanted attention, and I hated attention. I felt like my interests were too different for girls my age, that any mistake I made would have been analyzed and illuminated for the world to see. I liked being alone, playing by myself outside, making snow communities and mud potions, and playing my recorder out in the rain so that I could avoid the other children. I liked telling stories and bending the truth so that I could relate to the adults at the table. When I got older, I felt like the world could see my blood boil when a teacher misled the class. Fueled by anger and justice for learning, once a semester I'd have a moment TM, stand up, yell at the teacher, and storm out of the classroom. Only once did a teacher follow me, apologize, and talk about how I was feeling. That's when I realized I'm invisible. Not my physical self, it's hard to ignore a giant child yelling in your classroom, but what I see is invisible. When I had a moment TM and thought the whole class would stand up and cheer in my support for standing up for their learning, they did not. Instead, I was met with disappointment and scolding looks from my teachers and the familiar ooh of my peers. College life was alien. I've always been smart, but I've been more smart in real world conversations than in standardized schools. All my friends made it to university. I felt stupid for not making it into university. I took 2 years to gather my plan and went to the same college my dad did and dropped out, just like my dad did. I went on to start my business, taking on what has felt like a mountain of self development. At the time, I thought the foothills looked like molehills, and I wouldn't have believed you if you told me I was climbing Everest. And I dredged on, too proud to admit I didn't know what I was getting into when I started. When I reached the top of my Everest, when my self development began to stagnate, I realized I wasn't stagnant, but developing at the same rate as everybody else. Finally, I can rest. But then I noticed at the top of the summit more foothills. Like a boom from above, God told me to keep climbing, to scale the next mountain, getting higher. This time, developing the way I deliver my ideas, and the shy, invisible girl started melting into the bold seeker of justice. As if to say, Mountain 1 required me to shed the layers that no longer serve me so that Mountain 2 could sculpt me into the person I'm meant to be. When the world shut down, I thought I would sell out. When that didn't happen, I realized I needed to develop my product to offer the world something I'm proud of, something good, something that deserves the attention and deserves to be in the limelight. I needed to lure my ideas down from the clouds and protect them from burning up in the layers of our atmosphere. Evolving from needing to share my ideas boldly to needing to protect them, two contradictory places in my heart learned to coexist. With every summit I reach, I learn to expect the next foothill. 25 years in, I've begun to understand that life is an ever swinging pendulum, oscillating between pressurize and polish, stagnate and scale, rest and rise. Life has been a test to see how comfortable I can get in my discomfort and how far I'm willing to go to gain my peace. Thank you so much for listening. And I hope that even though climbing your mountain might feel very isolating, that you are not alone, that we are all climbing mountains, that we are all living with contradictory tug of wars happening in our heart, where we have two people who live inside of us, sometimes three, sometimes four, who are contradictory and all valid. And I hope you feel valid. I hope you feel like you are making a difference in your life, that you are making a difference in other people's lives, that you are doing everything that you can with everything that you have, and that you are making it to that top, that you are resting, that you are stagnant. I hope that you are finally at a place where you feel like you are allowed to stagnate. And I hope you let two parts of yourself that contradict each other stay contradicting each other. Because that's you. You're the person who dances in the gray area between these two bold and shy people. You are the middle ground. You are the gray area. Thank you. I'll catch you next time.